Let's say hello to the man who likes fish and making people yawn. Crookie, hello, how are you?
I'm good. Do you know what? I had haddock for lunch today, so there you go. I'm on brand.
Had haddock? Had haddock?
I had haddock.
Why are you having haddock for lunch? You earn too much money.
I was sat down by the sea, so it felt like the right thing to do.
Oh, where are you?
Right, yeah.
Oh, I can see now on YouTube. You've got a bit of a tan.
Yeah, well, I was in Portugal last week, and topping up the tan back in the UK this week. But in between working, obviously.
Where are you next to the beach?
I live near the beach. I'm down on the south coast.
You kept that quiet.
God, are you next to Harry Redknapp?
No, I'm not that rich, unfortunately.
That's not what I hear. Listen, always a pleasure to have you on the show. Let's talk with something we understand is done and dusted. I don't know how true that is, but it looks like it's going to happen anyway if it's not. Dortmund to Real Madrid, Jude Bellingham for £88.5 million. We were both saying that's quite cheap.
Well, that's the upfront payment, although, as I understand it, even that payment will be in staggered instalments. But the whole deal is worth around about £112 million to include the various performance-related add-ons. So that would be a record for a British player. I think the fourth most expensive player in football history. I mean, what an opportunity for Jude Bellingham. We know there was interest from the Premier League. Liverpool were very keen at one stage. I think once they realised the numbers they'd have to pay, they pulled out. There were other clubs around Europe who were interested. There was an option maybe that Borussia Dortmund would extend his contract and put a release clause in. But I think once Real Madrid signalled their intent, it was always the club for him. And it's good news for Birmingham City as well, because they get a 5% sell-on of any fee above the £20 million that Borussia Dortmund paid them. And obviously in the Championship, Birmingham have had their financial problems. That will come in very handy indeed.
Well, sorry, what percent? 5%
above the £20 million. So
that's
I think
60 million. So that would be 10% would be 6. So 3 million they get out of it.
Yeah, about 3.3. I think our number crunchers worked out. So not a bad day's business for Birmingham.
Lovely. Crookie, one story that kind of I was a little bit disappointed with was it's got to be Messi because it looks like he's going to Inter Miami. I hoped that he'd be going back home to Barcelona, but why do you think he's opted to go to Inter Miami?
I think he hoped that as well, Benty, to be honest. I think his entourage made it pretty clear that Barcelona and an emotional homecoming would be his preferred destination. That they've still got all kinds of financial issues, the kind that dogged them last summer. They've got to get players off the wage bill before they can even entertain bringing in somebody on Lionel Messi's wages. So I think in the end, he realised it wasn't going to happen. He's actually turning down a more lucrative offer to go and join this mass exodus of stars to Saudi Arabia. I think it's the lifestyle that attracts him in Miami, but also this is a branded deal. So the likes of Adidas have helped facilitate this move. And let's be honest, would you rather live in Miami or Saudi Arabia if you had the option?
I'd rather live in Spain. I'd rather go back home to Spain. Unless they're offering me 400 million a week like they were offering
Manchester.
Before.
I'd rather go back to Manchester.
Don't rule out Messi ending up on loan at Barcelona because, of course, the European season operates differently to the American season. I wouldn't rule that out further down the line.
On loan from Inter Miami?
Yeah.
Okay, that is interesting. All right. Crookie, we'll let you get back to sunbathing. Thank you so much for coming on. It's always a pleasure.
No problem.
There you go, the wonderful Alex Crook. And a reminder, of course, you can see and read more Crookie's transfer notebook in full. And as always, you can keep up to date with the latest transfer news across the whole window over on talksport.com.
talkSPORT Drive with Andy Goldstein. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.